Imagine waking up tomorrow and finding out that the gas station near your house is out of fuel. Not just that one, all of them. That the price of oil has crossed $300 a barrel, that flights are grounded, that store shelves are emptying. That isn't a movie plot. That is the scenario playing out in real time right now in the Middle East. And almost nobody in America is talking about what it actually means for you. Let's go back to this morning. Before most Americans had their first cup of coffee, jets were already in the air over the Persian Gulf. American and Iranian forces exchanged heavy strikes overnight. 6 Iranian petrochemical facilities were hit, turned into walls of fire, wounded, destroyed, gone. And Iran struck back, hard. 2 American F-16s downed, an F-15 downed. 2 expensive American military helicopters blown out of the sky. And then, as the sun went down, Donald Trump, visibly furious, issued a public ultimatum. He gave Iran 48 hours. His message, in plain terms, either come to the table, open the Strait of Hormuz, or face devastation on a scale you haven't seen yet. Iran's military spokesperson answered within the hour, and the response was not fear, the response was contempt. The spokesperson reminded Trump of something very simple. The Strait of Hormuz doesn't belong to America, it belongs to Iran, and it will open on Iran's terms, not Trump's. Now here's where this story gets complicated, and here's where it starts affecting every single person watching this, regardless of whether you've ever thought about the Middle East in your life. There are 2 choke points on this planet that control a massive percentage of the world's oil and gas supply, 2 narrow corridors of water, and right now both of them are within Iran's reach. The first one, the one you've probably heard about, is the Strait of Hormuz. Look at a map. You've got Iran sitting at the top, the Arabian Peninsula below it, Saudi Arabia, the UAE, Kuwait, Qatar, Bahrain. The thin strip of water between them is the Strait of Hormuz. Roughly 20 to 21 million barrels of oil pass through that strait every single day. That's about 20% of the world's total oil supply. Iran has already effectively closed it. No commercial shipping company in the world will send a tanker through there right now because no insurance company will cover the risk. You don't need warships blocking the path. You just need the threat. The business world closes it for you. That's Route 1. And Trump is desperate to reopen it because energy analysts are already warning that if this blockade continues, oil could hit $150 to $200 a barrel within weeks. Think about what that means for your gas prices. Think about what that means for the economy, for inflation, for your grocery bill. Because everything you buy gets there on a truck, and that truck runs on fuel. But there's a Route 2, and this is the one that woke up the White House today. Iran's parliament speaker, the second most powerful figure in Iran right now, a man named Mohammad Ghalibaf, put out a public message. And it wasn't addressed to his own people. It was addressed to the world. He asked a question. He asked, what percentage of the world's oil, natural gas, rice, wheat, fertilizers, and industrial materials pass through the Bab-el-Mandeb Strait? If you've never heard that name before, you need to know it now. The Bab-el-Mandeb is a narrow waterway near Yemen at the bottom of the Red Sea. This is Route 2. Everything that moves between Europe, the Mediterranean, Africa, and Asia by sea goes through this corridor. European goods flowing to South Asia, Middle Eastern oil flowing to Southern Europe, fertilizer moving to Africa, agricultural products moving to Asian markets. All of it passes through this one narrow channel at the southern tip of the Red Sea, flanked on one side by Djibouti and on the other by Yemen. And Yemen right now is controlled, for all practical purposes, by the Houthis. And the Houthis answer to Iran. The Houthis have already demonstrated what they're willing to do. They have targeted commercial vessels before. They have forced shipping companies to reroute around the entire continent of Africa, adding weeks to delivery times and hundreds of millions of dollars in costs. When Iran signals the Houthis, this choke point doesn't need to be physically blocked. The threat alone is enough. Shipping companies pull their vessels, insurers walk away. The corridor shuts down in hours. And that's the message Iran sent today. That's the message Ghalibaf sent. We have one hand on Route 1. We have another hand on Route 2. What exactly are you going to do about it, Mr. Trump? Here's what makes this genuinely terrifying from an economic standpoint. The facilities that have already been hit, and this is according to regional energy experts, are not quick fixes. Qatar's Ras Laffan gas facility, one of the largest in the world, suffered damage so severe that Qatari officials themselves have said repairs could take 3 to 5 years. 3 to 5 years. And billions of dollars in reconstruction costs. Abu Dhabi's Habshan gas complex has been struck twice now. Saudi refineries hit. Kuwaiti oil infrastructure damaged. The Gulf, which produces a significant fraction of the world's liquefied natural gas, is already running well below capacity. And if Iran makes good on its threat to target the energy infrastructure of American allies across the region, Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, the UAE, Bahrain, what's left? Energy experts warn that a fifth of the world's natural gas supply could simply disappear from the market, not slow down, disappear. At that point, we're not talking $200 oil. We're talking numbers that no economist wants to put in print because they sound insane. $300, $400 per barrel. Aviation fuel would become unaffordable. Airlines would ground routes. The cost of flying, domestic, international, would be out of reach for ordinary Americans. And that's just the beginning. Plastics, petrochemicals, fertilizers, aluminum, steel, the entire industrial backbone of the modern economy runs on energy. If that energy gets choked off, you don't just have expensive gas. You have a global supply chain collapse. So what does Trump do? That's the question being asked tonight inside the White House. And the honest answer, based on everything we know, is that his options are running out fast. He tried arming the Kurds to open a ground front against Iran. That plan stalled. He tried escorting commercial tankers through the Strait of Hormuz with U.S. Navy ships. His own admirals told him it wasn't operationally feasible. He floated the idea of seizing Karg Island, Iran's primary oil export terminal. That operation never launched. He's conducted massive bombing campaigns targeting Iranian infrastructure over and over, and Iran hasn't flinched. Iran hasn't come to the table on American terms, not once. Meanwhile, Iran has something Trump fundamentally cannot bomb away. Iran has geography. The two most critical maritime choke points on the planet sit either in Iranian waters or within range of Iranian-aligned forces. You can destroy a factory. You can't relocate a strait. The experts who know this region best say there is now essentially one path out of this, and it involves Trump doing something that doesn't come naturally to him. It involves negotiating a face-saving exit. A ceasefire announced as a diplomatic victory, even if the underlying reality is that Iran got a significant portion of what it wanted, control over the terms under which Hormuz reopens. Quiet conversations are already happening. Iran's parliament speaker is believed to be the channel for those back-channel negotiations. Every signal coming from Tehran suggests Iran wants a deal, but on its own terms, not under the barrel of an American gun pointed at its power grid. The next 48 hours will tell us which direction this goes. If Trump escalates, if he follows through on threats to destroy Iran's energy infrastructure, its power plants, its water systems, Iran has made clear it will respond in kind across the entire region. Every oil installation from Riyadh to Kuwait City to Abu Dhabi becomes a target, and Iran will close Route 2, sending the Houthis to lock down the Red Sea corridor that keeps the global economy breathing. If Trump steps back, if cooler heads prevail and a negotiated off-ramp emerges, there's still an enormous amount of damage to undo. Even in the best-case scenario, returning Gulf energy production to pre-war levels could take years and cost hundreds of billions of dollars. There's a bitter irony buried in all of this. Donald Trump's entire political brand is economic strength, low prices, energy dominance, American power, and the conflict he escalated, the conflict he thought he could win with air power and ultimatums, has produced the opposite of everything he promised. Energy markets in chaos, global recession fears rising, American credibility in the region at its lowest point in decades, and two choke points he can't control, held by the one country he was determined to break. His name may be Trump, but right now, the Trump cards are in Tehran's hands. Stay with us. As this situation develops over the next 48 hours, we'll bring you updates the moment they happen. If this video gave you context you couldn't find anywhere else, hit subscribe, because this story is far from over.